Well, hi everybody. This is Al Spath on Positive Poker Insiders. Today we got a special guest with us, and I think he's coming from up in Connecticut way. This is Paul Darden. You're 19. Let me see. I'm not going to say 19. I'm going to say 2001 seven-card stud WSOP champion. Is that right, Paul?
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
And that was like for $149,000 at that time.
47 and change, I think. It was too long ago to remember.
And
it's gonna be in the millions.
The seven stud will?
No, not the seven stud. Just throughout the World Series, I'm going and putting my boots and put my boots on. My thinking cap gonna be on, and the luck gonna be running my way.
Well, that sounds great for all of us. Paul's coming to us over the telephones today, so if any of the sound is a little bit muffled, it's just because Al's using old technology here. But let's go back to those days. Let's go back to the days when you were sitting at the table. When I got first introduced to you on TV screen, you were sitting with Gus Hansen and John Uwanda and Phil Ivey. Is Phil Ivey still your mentor, or was your mentor?
Well, he was my mentor. Now, we like two different sides of the world. I've been struggling and he's been just striving.
Well, I think that we all go ups and downs, and it's how you deal with them, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know I'll be back. I just have to go through the swings, different things, different times, new times, and just having to get back into poker from the beginning. I've been playing a lot of small stakes just to get my just fight back, because I feel it's when you're first starting off and you're more naive and you don't know the game as much. You're more careless. You don't care, and you rely a lot on luck. So I'm trying to take that approach back to the beginning.
Well, I think that's a good approach to it, and I think that sometimes the game changes on us, and sometimes we have to adapt to the game. The game that you were introduced back in the earlier days has evolved since then. And I noticed a quote from you recently where it said that luck was playing a factor nowadays. I think it was on Facebook you mentioned that.
Yes, it is. You see everybody play no limit today. They're trying to go all in and hope they don't get a call, but if they do, they're going to see all the cards and they rely on the luck. Doesn't matter what they have, they leave it up to God, although He's in charge anyway. But they solely leave it right up to just that, the luck factor. And it's hard to outplay someone or bluff someone today, and part of the adjustment is to take the hand slow. Don't rely on the luck of the cards. Play the hands out. Go slow. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
One turn at a time.
The difference, you won your bracelet, like I mentioned earlier, the 2001 seven stud, was a limit game. And, limit games have kind of been phased out, except for the World Series. But how about up at Foxwoods where you go? Can you still get a seven stud limit game or any limit games up there at Foxwoods?
Oh, yeah, all the time. They play 20-40, and on the weekends they play at 75-150. The stud games is still back this way east. The Bagada has them, and Foxwoods has the best stud games going. You can play all the way from the bottom to the top. They have a 1-3 all the way to a 75-150 stud go on the weekends every weekend.
Were you more a stud high player or a high low player?
I was more so a stud high player, but I love high low as well. but they don't place the high-low as much in live action in the casino. Sometimes they have mixed games, but other than that, just regular stud they play, and I love it. I grew up on it. Could play it in my sleep.
That's my favorite.
It's harder today because everybody has been playing and learning and evolving. And
sure.
Again, you need the cards to just come your way.
Yeah. When's the last time you were rolled up? Ooh. That's good. That just gives you chills, doesn't it, to be rolled up, huh? For those of you out there that don't know stud, that means you're starting out with three of a kind. You got two underneath and one up that matches. And matter of fact, when you talk about seven stud, you talk about getting quads and nobody ever can see it. They don't see any pairs on the board, and you still can hold quads at the end. It's a great game for everybody, and I think that I wish to see more of it. You're never going to see it on TV. It doesn't make for good filming because of some factors, but it's a great game, everybody out there. And Paul's you're still living in New Haven, Connecticut. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I read something about being a nightclub owner and a music promoter. You still doing any of that, or you put any of your friends to doing that? Did you sell interest in that, or do you still got that going?
No, I sold my interest out.
Oh, okay.
That, but I'm getting back a little bit. I'm talking to a gentleman about managing him. He's coming out in the music career, so we negotiate. I might be doing a little managing a young talented rapper coming up and out now, but I'm doing some things. I got little things in the fire.
Yeah, I know. You just signed on with Raymond Davis at realgrinders.com. I just read that the other day. That's some breaking news, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be a good thing.
So I want you guys out there listening to this on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and everything, hook up Paul, check him out over at realgrinders.com when that kicks off. Raymond Davis is running that, and they signed up a few other pros. I'm not aware of the names at this particular time because I was following Paul, but I saw his name and I was happy to see that. That's interesting. I'm gonna turn the tables on you a little bit here. Get away from poker. We'll come back to it in just a second. But American Idol, I understand that you're Team Fantasia. Is that right?
Yeah.
She's still your favorite out of everybody. The 15 years is over now. She's the favorite.
Well, I'm not gonna say she's a favorite.
That you like.
That made it. But my favorite truly was. I love the Jennifer Hudson as well.
Yeah. When Simon Cowell told her you're nothing but a cruise ship singer, lounge singer, back when she finished, I think 7th or something like that, I couldn't believe it at that time. I thought she should have finished higher. I don't know if she should have won that year, but I thought that was a bad comment out of him, and she's proven him and everybody wrong with her Oscar and everything else that she's done. I always liked Carrie Underwood, and I know she'll always be a star and everything. But I liked Ruben, and I really thought that Ruben was going to really hit it in stride. And he had some real health issues, but sometimes health issues hits all of us. Has a health issue hit you in your career?
Well, yeah, but I don't rebound. Life is good. I'm loving my doctor, my medication, everything is all good and well.
Good.
I said I'm 90%. I do walk. I do have a cane. I sometimes stumble and maybe fall, but other than that, I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's good. I know I saw you laughing on Facebook one day. Something got my attention. I'm a big Bernie Mac fan. He died at 50 and died way too young. But I guess it was I think it was either a kid in a hallway. He was imitating Bernie Mac and Cat Williams. You remember that?
Yeah. Some kid had on Facebook, how he can and impersonate Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, all the stars, and so many different stars. I mean, it was excellent.
Excellent. It was great.
If you wasn't looking at it, you would think it was them actually doing it.
And he was doing it for a girl. He was trying to impress a girl by a locker or something, wasn't he?
Right, yeah, by a locker. But you know, it's something. The young talent today is out here. The world is, I mean, really evolving. I mean, it's something else, special.
Yeah. Well, let's turn back to poker, and I got a name I want to throw at you, and tell me what this person means to you. Amnon Philippi.
Oh, that's my man.
Who is
my
it?
main man. Like I said, that's the guy I helped better his poker career when he was playing and still playing. But you know, I love him like a brother. You know, he's better than me. He's a phenomenal player. He'll win a bracelet too at the World Series next year as well. He will pick up bracelet.
And you were his mentor or still are?
Yeah. We have talked when we see each other. But yeah, absolutely, that's my main man right there.
Well, good. I'm glad I read about it and brought it up. I can tell, not even seeing your face, I can tell there's a smile on your face because he means a lot to you.
Yeah, listen, that's my brother from another mother.
Well, later on, you give me his Facebook. I'll look him up if he's got a Facebook page, or if you give me his email later on, I'll send him a copy of this, and we'll make his day too, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
That's good. Okay, let's go back. Influences. Who influenced you when you first started out? You know, I know that Paul worked. Phil was a mentor of sorts, but was there anybody that was on the scene that took time out to say, "Hey, kid, you know, you could be better if you did this," or was there anybody that stepped in, or did you have to just do it by hard knocks on your own?
Well, like I said, when I was a kid, my father owned a pool hall, and he told me any and everything about poker, although I didn't play no limit, but he told me all about poker, regular and 7-card stud, because that's what they played in the pool hall and everything. But when he came to no limit, I have to say it was Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey.
Period. He pulled me in, and he said, "This is the game. This is the future, and you'll do and have and be where you want to be right through this game right here." And look at him now today. So there's no surprise on where he's at with it, and the rest is history and will be come next year. Because I tell you, no limit. I'm gonna, like I said, do my thing at the World Series, back to the basic, and just take in all the mental thoughts, notes, and writing it down so I know what, how, and why. That's why so many no-namers is winning it at the World Series, because of the luck, the lack of knowledge, you know, because pros lay a hand down where they know they beat.
Sure.
An amateur will not, because they don't know to lay the hand down. And they get lucky where they hit, even if they're not all in on the pre-flop or the flop or even the turn.
Right.
They'll still see that river card because they don't know no better. And that's what sometimes it takes them big, to have the heart to go the distance.
Well, so, I think you got the determination to do very well there. I'll tell you 2 quick things about Phil Ivey. One, I wrote an article. I used to work for Poker School Online. I was the dean there, and I wrote an article one time, and I named him actually in the article before anybody else as he was the Tiger Woods of poker, and that was in one of my articles. And then one day he told a story, as I know it, that he was playing in Atlantic City, and the stud games were badass at that time at the Trump and Taj Mahal and stuff like that. But he went out and lost $400,000 in one day, not just the stud, but he lost $400,000. He went home to his wife at that time, and she had just got into poker, and she played an online tournament, and the way I understand it, she finished first over like 4,000 players, and he asked her how much she won, and she said like, I don't know, it was $4 or something like that. It was like pennies, people entered and everything. And he couldn't tell her that he just lost $400,000. He made her feel really good about her big win because she beat all these people. And I thought that was pretty nice of him to do that, even though he had just taken one right across the bow. You know what I mean?
Well, that's one thing what he told me about the game, and he taught me early on. He said, you know what, you're gonna take swings. But the thing about how you take the swings is don't let it affect you or bother you. And when it do, you go home and you lock yourself away from the world to lick your wounds. But don't worry about it because it's all going to come around. When it come around, you'll win 100 more times than you lose and the money as well. Never mind the loss because you'll win 100 times the win when someone that don't know how to play, don't know how to back their hands and know how to make the money, you will. Like where you see where people don't know when to raise and when to re-raise, to move someone or to have someone, they might have you buy a big pair, but you still have a huge draw with 3 cards to come. If you want an opening straight flush draw and you have still 2 over cards, somebody got queens, you got the ace and king over the 2 queens, so you just pound and make them pay for the hope that you miss. They have the best hand, but you have the best potential on overall and so many outs to beat that hand where you to be the aggressor.
I hear that. I can hear it, and I know the people that are listening to this can hear it in your voice, and you can tell that adrenaline starts to pump when you're like that cat. And it's going to just pounce on the mouse, or the cat in Africa to get his prey. I mean, you can just hear it in your voice that, if you get the right circumstances, you got to take the action and you got to commit.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. You got to always be able to make the absolute max on your hands. And when someone don't know how to play their hands, you could lose the absolute minimum.
That's right.
And that's what determines a good player and a great player and an average player.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Paul, I got a couple more things here, but I want having talked to you, and you were one of my idols as I was entering into poker, and I'm a lot older than you, but I saw you on TV, and I kind of had this fondness for you at the table. There was something about your demeanor. There was something about, I come from the streets of New York. You came from the streets up there. You came from a pool hall. My dad used to come from a bar room, and think just little things, but it connected us. And I'm a poker coach, and I'll offer you this right now, and everybody can hold me to it on it. When you get ready to go to the World Series next year, if you need any kind of tune-up or anything like that, I got a free offer for you that I'll shadow you on a table online and get some thoughts from you, and we'll just fine-tune that game, get you in that mental attitude. If nobody else is out there that is available to assist you in any of that, I'm here. It's free, as much as it takes, and we'll get you ready. I'm a big supporter of yours. I want you to know that. I appreciate what you've done for the industry and what you've done for poker.
No, thank you. I appreciate it because sometimes I feel the same way, that you might need someone right there shadowing you in your corner, helping you make all the right decisions and everything, your mind do get fried, and you get tunnel vision, and you're blocked, and everything, all kinds of emotions run through you in your mind that you gotta stay fresh. And sometimes you want to get up and you have somebody in the corner, just like a ref, or I mean, not like a corner man.
Yeah.
Just to talk, go over it, tell them about a hand, a situation.
That's
What
right.
you think about this and what you think about that?
That's exactly what it is. And we call it in the business as coaches, we call it occupational blindness. You get to see it so many times that it becomes a blur sometimes, and sometimes you can overlook some things because it happens so many times, and sometimes we just take things for granted. So sometimes when somebody else points it out, you say, you know what, I hadn't even been thinking about that's the edge I needed. And there's an edge here and there's an edge here, and all of a sudden you've got all these edges working for you again. All the pistons are firing, and you're thinking about everything that's going on at the table, because so many people sit down, as you said, and they play with luck, and they're one-dimensional, or maybe two-dimensional, but sometimes you got to be three, four, fifth dimension. You know what I mean? You've got to be thinking ahead. You got like a chess game, and I think that's where you sharpen your skills before you go out to a place like Vegas with somebody or a team of people, and it pays off for you as the player. And I think if you want to do something like that later on, I'll hook you up, and we'll do it right online. I live here in Maryland, you live up there, but we can do it online, and I can provide you shadowing, and we'll just tune that game up.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I will appreciate it. And now I feel as I got your number, so don't be surprised when I call on you.
Oh no, there's no.
I don't want nothing for free, because I want. You know what I mean? Everything to me is like a marriage. I've been with my wife. She was my girl, everything for over 20 years, so I'm committed,
Yeah, well, 20 years, and
I don't...
No, 20 years, and you would talk about, before we came on the air, I wished you your firstborn there, Whitney Marie, a birthday wish. So how many children do you have with that lovely wife?
Oh, well, me and my wife only have one.
Uh-huh.
Because I was young and I was a girlfriend before and everything, and life, things happen.
Sure.
Four total.
But you look out for all of them, don't you? You look out for all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
Yeah, my youngest, she's 16 and she's doing me proud, and she want to go abroad for college. She got a 4.5 GPA.
Rock it on.
Nice. And like I said, I say it every day, she gonna do me proud, do me special.
She will. She will.
All my kids are doing good things, they, not into trouble and none of that.
Well, they got a great role model. And that helps. And it's not just you, the rest of the family. It all provides an atmosphere for them to grow and learn and go to school and achieve. And speaking of that, I was listening to one of the videos you put up on Facebook. I think the gentleman's name was Dr. Umar Johnson. Am I pronouncing that right? Umar Johnson. It was about blacks competing and the wealth was to replace the self-worth. That was a wonderful video he did.
Yeah. Like I said, just seeing stuff online, I share it because a lot of things I'm not gonna say I agree with, but it just things that make you say, make you think.
It opens the conversation. It opens up the conversation. Nobody wants to talk in America about it. They just want to have action and everything, and they don't want to talk about it.
Right, absolutely. That's what everything about, and it's good, just thoughts and different opinions and how people think about things, and it just, it's good. It's good for the world to just take part and things of the world, you know what I'm saying? And situation, how
Sure.
we can better the world, you know?
That's right.
Because, you know, like someone said, just like in the Olympics, how they asked the young black girl, and she said, Black Lives Matter. I said, well, see, my thing is they would have asked me, all lives matter.
Sure.
I don't feel it's just black lives. I say all lives matter. You know, you ask me, I say all lives matter. I mean, it ain't no color thing, but I know why they say black lives matter, because they're saying all the killings of blacks, but
and that's there, and that's
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
the crimes don't make no sense. A lot of it in the world, but it's still, it is what it is. You know, we got to do things and the right things. Like I put online where I show where a guy did and have where when you're being pulled over by the police, a way you should, you know what I'm saying, you know, you should,
How you act, how you present.
how you should approach
Right.
the situation when you know the police pull you over. You keep your hands on the steering wheel. You make sure you have no music on. You turn off your car, and you act accordingly. You know what I mean? You give respect so you can give respect. Sometimes, you know, it's just a little thing. You know, yeah. Sometimes we all may get out of hand and out of place, or think, well, what you doing or how you doing? You have no right doing. However, but in all, it's still best to be calm, polite, and courteous when you're dealing with a superior that's looking out and supposed to look out for us all. You know,
This is true.
it's just my personal feeling, and you
This
know,
is true. This is
my
true.
personal take on all.
No, I agree with you 100%. There's some good people, whether they be in football or poker or policemen. There's also some bad folks out there, and we got to weed those out and everything. I like what they did down in Dallas after the shooting, and that they said, yeah, we've got a problem here between the two groups. Well, why don't you sign up? We'll take 20,000 applicants, and we'll integrate you into the police force, and therefore we can have more diversity and we can deal with some of these problems and better community outreach. And I think that's a solution, at least that's trying to incorporate the folks that think they're not getting the support or not getting the security that they deserve, or the respect. In a lot of cases it's the respect. Then they be on the other side of the glass, and they can take a look at it and see, and maybe offer some things through the academies and stuff so they can reach out and deal with the young youth that don't have any place to go after school, or whatever the case may be, you know?
Yes, exactly.
It's a solution.
And that's good to open up to try to help one another out, because you can't nobody do it. Say, oh, it's just the police. Oh, it's the people. You know, it got to be a meeting in the middle. You know, it got to come together.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're right.
Help
You're right.
one another out. You know, we all trying to get along and live our lives and do right. Because I mean, you know, I'm a black, African American, but I know how it is out in the street.
So is one of my
You got to be extra careful.
So is one of my granddaughters and one of my grandsons. They are black also, and they're 13 years old. And my daughter and my son-in-law tell them all the time, listen, you're going to be driving a car pretty soon, and you need to watch what's going on, and you need to be behaving yourself, because they don't want that call in the middle of the night, and no parent wants a call in the middle of the night. So, and sometimes it's from somebody that's not even doing anything wrong, and that's the stuff that we have to get rid of. That's the injustice of it all. If somebody pulls a gun, that's a different story. But when someone's just gets pulled over because of the color, then we got a problem that it can get out of hand, because you don't know who's the person with the gun is the person that's in charge, and you don't know what they're going to do, you know?
Right, absolutely. I mean, the thing is with any and everybody, safety is first. If anyone carried a badge and they felt uncomfortable, or they didn't know how this person that they had to pull over, don't know what the case may be for. It might be a light, it might be for excessive music, loud music, or it might look like they might be under influence or anything. So you gotta proceed with caution. And then when they do have a badge, they think they want to get home safe at night. So therefore, adrenaline and fear have them reaching for their firearm. So, to protect their life, protect their partner life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Therefore,
Yep.
I say it, and I can put online. You got to do little things to help them help you. Period.
That's right. And you don't know if they just came from some bad scene where they had murders or whatever, or they could have been having a really bad day themselves. And so, that doesn't justify anything. So you don't know who you're going to get when you get pulled over. So the best thing is to do is take the high road, exactly what you said. I got two last questions. I'll let you go. I know I said I'd keep you at 30. We're just at over 30 right now. What do you think of the shot?
Don't worry about it. I got time.
What do you think of the shot clock? They started entering the shot clock where you get so much time to act, so people can't go on the tank for 10 minutes.
That was good because a lot of it just for show, on the camera, the TV on them, knowing that they're gonna lay a hand down, knowing that it's just to make it seem like they had a hand when they never did. So it's good.
Okay.
It's good. It'll just do away with all the nonsense.
And the last question I got is, what do you think about the fact that Howard Lederer and Chris Ferguson showed up for the World Series this year, and Howard put out that letter of apology for what happened over at Full Tilt? How do you take it as a poker pro? What happened? What went down? And what they're trying to do now?
Well, the bottom line is trying to save face now. It's all about saving face. And if you're not going to give back or return no money or try to do anything really to make up, words are just that, words. People want to see more so action. You did and you took, and if you robbed or did crooked things for millions of dollars, do a nice gesture, to the poker world. I don't know, I don't know in what kind of way, but, that's more so than just mouthing you're sorry, because just like you're mouthing you're sorry, you could be laughing at the same time as fast as you turn your head.
That's very true. I remember an old TV show. I don't know if you remember Robert Blake on Beretta, and he said, "Don't do the crime if you can't do the time."
Of course, I love the Beretta.
Yeah, that was a good.
When I was a kid.
That was a good show. That was a really good show. I used to enjoy that so much. Listen, everybody, this is Al Spath on Positive Poker Insiders. You can find us on Twitchtv, and you can go up to YouTube and just put in my name, Al Spath, or Positive Poker Insiders. I got over 250 free instructional videos on tournaments and cash games and things like that, and you can enjoy them and improve your game. And one day you could, in fact, be as good as Paul Darden, our special guest today, the 2001 bracelet winner, a 7-card stud. And Paul, it's been my honor to have you on the show today, and I will get in touch with you, and we'll do some stuff shadowing, and I'll really enjoy that.
Okay, I thank you very much. It was a pleasure. It was all mine.
Thank you, sir, and have a great day.
You too, you too.
All right, we're out, folks. Bye now.